December. Open my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high. I can't touch the sky. Late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Hoping my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Over my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now, hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now, hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now, hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We are back with another Music Monday on this Monday, man. Y'all smash that like button, sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already. Of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and I make content about sneakers, occasional try-on hauls, and y'all know this is Music Monday. Normally, this would be the time where I introduce Dunks, but I think he texted me and he said he's gonna be joining a little late. So, Dunks, you have the link. Feel free to sign up. You already know what's up. In the chat is pinned up, is at soul.discord. Sign up for the link. It is pinned up at the top and it is free to sign up. Pretty much, man, we talk pretty much everything over there from music, sports, and of course, sneakers, which is the main thing that built this channel, of course, man. So appreciate everybody for coming through tonight, showing love. Really goes a long way. Tonight, I wanted to do like an update on Young Thug, man. And I know we started this Music Monday off at the top of the year, man. I like what it's really going to and what it's doing, but Young Thug, his Rico trial case is pretty much on its way after being delayed for quite some time. I think the last time I touched on this was like 3 months ago, man. So pretty much I think it was time to do an update, man. Now, if y'all aren't haven't been living under a rock, Young Thug is facing a RICO charge. And right now, one of the latest things that I've seen coming up in the article is that they're going to use his lyrics against him. Now, a couple artists have spoke out and say how they feel about it, how they feel like that's truly unfair because it really pushes that gray area of creative expressions. And I can play devil's advocate to both sides if I'm gonna keep it 100. I can see what the artists are saying, and I can see exactly what the legal system is saying. Now, as a person who's been in and out of the legal system way too much for my liking, not my whole entire life because I wasn't that person, but I definitely, let's say I took a couple gambles and lost. I'll put it like that, right? And here we are, though. So I don't know where a lot of people stand, but I know it was taking them forever to actually find a juror, and I think they finally found a juror for Young Thug, because I know we've seen that as well. The RICO charges, man, and I'm going to skim off what the lyrics they're possibly going to use against him. Now, I've seen it flown around on the internet, but I actually didn't really get into it, because I was like, I'm going to just touch it on the live, man. A lot of people, if you don't know, Young Thug, low-key, is one of my favorite artists. I remember when Young Thug actually came out, I really thought I didn't like him, but I noticed that I kept playing his music all the time, and I'm like, you must like him if you're playing it all the time. I mean, dude's got hits. Like, he's come out on some, like, he's got some timeless hits, if you ask me. So, I'm going to say free Thugger, but I don't know how in depth, if he's really tied to any of these charges, if they can really prove it. Arguably one of the biggest hip-hop, like, trial cases of like this year, and another one would be YNW Melly, which I'm definitely going to touch on YNW Melly. If I don't do it next Monday, we're definitely going to do some more updates as we get more information about that case. But tonight, it's all about Thugger. Now, as we know already, man, a lot of them guys have already plead guilty and tapped out already. But to be honest, I know a lot of people say pleading guilty and snitching, that's the same thing. But I'm here to tell you that it's about what you're pleading guilty to and what you agree to do. Everybody gives Gunna a hard time, and it's not about Gunna, but then again, Gunna kind of ties into this all the way. But I do want to say this because it's kind of been thoughts that's been in my head. I see we got BK in the building. BK says slat. But yeah, snitching and pleading guilty, two different things, man. Snitching meaning pretty much you and I can see where the gray area is. So everybody's calling Gunna a rat, but I mean, to be honest, I think he took a plea deal, which that means pleading guilty for a lesser sentence, but also he did openly agree to, like, you know, was YSL this, was YSL that, and he said, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. He didn't know they put him on the spot. But I mean, usually when pleading guilty, you know, sometimes you don't even have to go in front of the judge, but this case is you have to go in front of the judge. I see all of them are going to it. So pretty much they're having them admit something because they want to use it against Thugger. Now, was Gunna wrong for that? I don't know. I borderline feel like I wouldn't be surprised if, like, and I know this sounds crazy, they know that they don't really have nothing, and I don't know. This is all alleged and opinionated based about this whole situation before I even get any further, because you know how the legal system is and how much they really don't really, I don't know. They now in this time in this country right now, everything is like nickel and diamond, and I don't want to be a part of anything that I don't have to be a part of, like as far as like legal wise, right? But I say all that to say, like, Gunna's situation where, sure, he could have sat behind bars, but Gunna had the least amount of charges. They didn't have anything on him. But at the same time, Gunna knew that he wasn't going to come home until Thug situation was gonna, but his charges, I don't feel like he would have been able to get the max. Cause I don't think they're the person that he's not the person they actually really want. I see we got the Slayer popping up in the building. Says, "What's going on, my sneaker familia? What up? What up? What up? What up?" Also, too, man, I'm gonna remind you guys at the end of the live too. Wednesday, we won't be live on Wednesday because I got a lot of things actually going on Wednesday, but it will be back to its regular scheduled program. But this week, pretty much, man, is gonna be one hectic week for me. I'm still gonna be pumping out content, but I just won't be able to have that moment to lock down and get on the live and really kick it back with you guys. But y'all know I'm definitely gonna be right back on Saturday. I see No Hype is in the building with the salute. What up, No Hype? What up? What up? What up? Y'all smash that like button, man. As y'all come in and out of the joint, smash that like button and sub up. But back on the Gunna situation. I feel like it's just he got caught off guard and his lawyer didn't set him up for success, even though his lawyer probably going to say they did set him up for success because the goal was to get your client home, and he pled guilty. And to be fair, Gunna's music-wise, by himself with like what? I think he's gotten a feature recently, but for the most part, when he came out, he just, honestly, Gunna is the perfect example. He just moving in silence. The cameras and stuff are following him, but he's moving in silence. He get in the stool, and his hip hop album's not mentioned, but it's mentioned because it's still doing numbers because people listen to it. And safe to say, he's came up on a more healthier tip as well. Pause. Like, you know, he's come out looking to complete. It's like him and Thugger kind of traded bodies, so to speak. Because if you look at the updated picture of Thugger, looks like he's been eating very well, as he should. But at the same time, maybe because they ain't no telling what kind of conditions they're putting Thugger in under there, right? It means like he could easily not being seen. You know, they're probably doing the bare bone minimum and still probably pushing it. Because they, low key, a lot of these people want you to plead guilty to make their job easier too. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you this. If you know you're truly not guilty of the crime, sometimes you got to really go ahead and bite the bullet. But at the same time, one of those, if you know you ain't got the money to fight it, although Thugger, if he ain't got it, I think Kevin Lau said he got it. So Thugger got money behind him. They're going to fight the case all the way. But in certain cases, some people have to plead, and I'm not saying this is Gunna, I'm just saying in general at this point, sometimes you have to go ahead and plead guilty because of financial strengths, man. And that's what I don't really like about the legal system. And, you know, me and my dad, we talk about it all the time. And one of the things that I didn't recently know, but after talking to my dad as I got older, a lot more legal cases he had been involved in that I really didn't know. And not on nothing like necessarily, I guess, well, I ain't gonna say they were good things, because if they were illegal, he had to do what he had to do. But when I was going through my legal battles and we were talking about how much the attorneys and how the system is, this, that, and the third, bro, he was like, oh, I know. And then everything I said, exactly. You know, we were pretty much trading like stories almost at that point. So I say all that to say, if Gunna only had, I think Gunna only had one charge compared to all the charges that Thugger got and all the rest of the YSL members got. Now, I seen like one member actually recently pleaded guilty as well. And I think he was like, honestly, they said if you go off of that, homie had been involved in the YSL lifestyle since he was like 11 or 12 years old, which I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'm not buying they had 11 or 12-year-old out here doing the stuff they said that child was doing, man. And I'm going to find that article for sure as well. So I'm going to pull up my screen in a second and read through these articles and see what the latest update and what lyrics are going to use. I personally will say this. It's a gray area of whether to use lyrics or not. I mean, if the lyrics, I've seen some lyrics where, and I'm not saying this is Thugger, I'm just saying in general at this point, I've seen some rappers literally spill out the whole crime from point A to point B, C, and D to the point where, like, honestly, did you not think they was not going to use that against you? Come on. And you can't, you know what I mean? I will say this. They go into full details of what happened, you know? And a lot of states will use that against you because the saying is simple, guys. The saying is simple. Why? I'm not on the law side, but this is how the law said. This is a thing, right? When the cops pull you over, they're supposed to read your rights. If you're getting arrested, this, that, and the third, they're supposed to read you your rights, this, that, and the third. The first thing they're supposed to tell you is you have the right to remain silent. By that, after that, it should be anything you can and say and do will be used against you. And this is probably where that gray area of where they're getting, like, this is where we need to use the lyrics. if you think about it, because anything you can and say will be used against you in a court of law. But at the same time, rapping, it's a great area because rapping is Thugger's job. You know, he's not saying his stuff is false, and I'm not saying it's true because I don't know, but Thugger is a storyteller, right? Safe to say Thugger is a storyteller. So that's where the label and everybody saying, well, like, that's really kind of not fair. So I can, like I said, I can see all angles where this is kind of like a tough call. And the judge, to be honest, man, I'm not too fond of the guy, but at the same time, one of the things I've seen also popping up where he's getting tired of the prosecutors as well, because they're like taking forever to like bring up certain evidence. So it could easily be the same as the YNW situation where it's kind of one of those, they have dots A and D, but they don't have B and C to connect it all together to make it all point back to him. And if they don't have that, it's not really gonna stick. You know what I mean? And I'm no lawyer and I'm no justice man. I've lost all my legal cases, so don't take no advice from me. But from the outside looking in, I will say this: losing all those cases, my dad reminded me real quick, like, you may have lost, but you didn't, because you learned. You definitely learned immediately what to do and what not to do, man. So that's one of the things I definitely want everybody to take from this. So I'm going to read what we got on the latest article of pretty much Young Thug, and then, of course, Meek Mill, of all people, I'm not surprised, who he's also been in and out of legal system too, man, over some stuff that was really, truly not fair. So I'm not surprised to see him speak out, and I think we've seen Killer Mike speak out, and I feel like more artists, I'm not saying necessarily shouldn't speak out, because I know they did speak out in the beginning when he first got locked up, but I've said this from day one, I still think they could have gave him a very, very strict and tight bond, you know, like they could have gave him a house arrest, very, very strict house arrest situation, man. But I guess they figured he just had too much power, which he may do or he may not, right? But I feel like if, you know, he sat in there for a few months, cool, he's still not tapping out, cool, let that man go to his crib and they working from there, you know, let that man be comfortable for whatever's gonna happen. The Slayer says, let me read through the chat real quick. The Slayer says, why do you think rappers think it's a flex to admit their actions in their verses, Big Bro J? Rapping fails for sure. This is my thing, right? And it's a gift and a curse, right? You can't be, when you speaking on certain things, like your legal situations, it's about how you tell the story, right? One of the favorite, I think, underestimated rappers to me is T Grizzly. He talks about his situations all the time indirectly. He's got the art of storytelling down to a science. While he may not have the best production and the biggest machine behind him, pause, but, you know, it's about how you tell the story. You don't want to go, if you go into, sometimes it may sound better if you go into full details, but at the same time, you got to know you're running that risk. If you're telling them like point A to all the way B, C, and D, you got to leave out some gray areas. Now, Thuggers them stuff, I feel like it's enough gray area where it's obviously people were able to pinpoint stuff together, but I feel like also social media played a part in that too, because Thugger didn't help the situation because he never denied it, but I mean, he don't really have to, you know what I mean? His job, he's entertaining his fan base, you know, and Thugger said he gets $1 million a show. Last time we saw him on $1 million worth of game, and before we knew, right before our very eyes, he was going to be taken out of his own home, living comfortably. The Slayer says, well said, Big Bro J100. Yeah, it's about how you tell the story. And I'll tell you another person, right? If we want to take it back, who kind of did this lifestyle at first, or not this lifestyle, but they rapped about their lifestyle, but they know it could be running a risk, is Young Jeezy. He spoke so indirectly to the point where, like, it was catchy. You knew what he was talking about, but at the same time, he never said who, where, what, this, like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't push a limit. And then some of the stuff where he's dropping albums now, he's literally like, yo, the statute of limitations up. I can rap a little bit more in depth about it now, which is something you got to know about. But Thugger stuff is 20, like, from what I read through the article, from what I remember, right, and I'm going to pull it up, and I didn't read the new article, but from the other articles, from what I got from it is they're stemming charges all the way back from like 2015. I don't feel like that's fair. But I will say one thing I know of about Young Thugger's lawyer, the guy, any type of thing that he can see to get the case thrown out, that's his number one goal, is to obviously get Thugger home or if he feels like he just truly can't beat it, he's gonna get them the least amount of time. Now, I don't know how many years Thugger is facing, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna pop up in the article. And I don't want to throw out there a number just yet until I read for sure how many years he is actually facing, which that's crazy, man. And Thug, I believe, is 31. Don't quote me on that, but I'll double check his age for sure. Matter of fact, let me do that right now while I got it up. Pause. He's 32, so he's 6'3", he is 6'3", and he is 32 years old. So, and I believe he has a total of 6 children. Because I mean, like I said, I've listened to a lot of Thugger's music, man. So obviously, some of this stuff I know what they're talking about, but and you got to also keep in mind a lot of people don't mention this person's name as well, but he's tied to another case, but it all stemmed between these two. Is YFN Lucci. You know, and I like YNF Lucci's music as well. I like both of them. I mean, Thugger's got bigger hits for sure, but they got two different styles. I don't feel like they could either, like, I don't see why they could not just come out and just do music together. And I got to give it to YFN Lucci, because he's not tapping out or pleading guilty either. And I have read somewhere before too, and this is all alleged and opinionated base, where they wanted YFN Lucci to actually testify against Thugger, and he said no, he wouldn't even do it. So I mean, that shows you it ain't even about being loyal to Thug at this point. You know, sometimes you just gotta live by the street code and street morals. But at the same time, what's that saying? When keeping it real goes wrong and the streets really ain't got no love for you, is it really worth the gamble? Is the question you really gotta ask yourself, you know? And, you know, I don't been in situations where I was the only person that got caught up, and there were like several other people involved. And I think everybody was questioning me like, there's no way you was doing this by yourself, this, that, and the third. But I said, nah, it's just me. And even they were like, we admire what you're trying to do, you know, and they left it at that. And at that point, I don't say they took it easy on me, but I knew like whatever the max was, I wasn't going to get it. Cause they kind of knew, man. I just kind of like, once I saw me, this and that third, and they said, you know, they kept saying, you sure there's not anyone else or anybody else you want to tell me about? And I was like, nah, you know, it's just me. You know, I did it all by myself. So yeah. Now those people, would they have been loyal to me? I don't think so. So once I got out of that situation, did what I had to do, I never talked to any of those people again, man. To be honest, it ain't even no beef or really being mad, but it's just like one of those like, and I'm not saying this is Thugger's situation, because he obviously got some people loyal to him. And I'm sure some people, it was better off to just plead guilty. But let me share my screen here, man. I want to talk on what's the latest talk on Thugger's situation. And then we're going to keep it nice and smooth here tonight, man. I'm only going to be on this joint for like an hour and 30 minutes. So y'all smash that like button, man, if y'all haven't done so already. Definitely sub up. Let me share my screen. Give me like 2 seconds. And boom, we should be sharing the screen right now. Hopefully everything is good. Audio is good. Y'all let me know for sure. Let me see real quick. Let me read through this article. So it says, Young Thug's lyrics prosecutors want to use in the Ysl Rico case surface. So they're pretty much I'm assuming this is gonna go through what lyrics they actually want to use against him. Now, I don't know if this is gonna work in his favor or not, but I mean, I don't see how they could say, I'm gonna read through the lyrics, but I mean, can that still means that like he actually quote unquote did it or ordered the hits, right? Because they're saying he's the leader to the best of my knowledge. It says Young Thug's lyrics may, and this was from November 9th, may be used against him in his ongoing Ysl Rico trial, and spectators have been giving a look into a few bars on the table. So apparently they're gonna show, which I already seen with some of the stuff that was already put on there, but I guess these are the final calls of like what's gonna be on here and what's not. It says on Wednesday, November 8th, Atlanta Journal Constitution journalist Joseph Papp took to Twitter to share some of the lyrics being used in the courtroom. The lyrics that could potentially be used are as follows. And this is one set of lyrics right here. So this is my first time reading this, so y'all getting my real like raw natural reaction in person, man. It says, and this is one of the lyrics, first one, it says, I just beat a murder rap, paid my lawyer 30 for what? Me and my slimes above the law from 2018's just how it is. And I see that I froze real quick. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna fix that real quick. But yeah, you guys should still be able to hear me. But I say all that to say, I don't think, what does that really prove? Like, what does that really prove? You know, I mean, sure, that doesn't really admit to anything to me in my book, but I mean, this one doesn't seem like a strong case if you ask me. Like that right there, if we're gonna just go off this lyric alone, says, I just beat a murder rap, paid my lawyer 30 for what? Me and my slimes above the law from 2018, just how it is. So he paid his lawyer 30,000 or 30,000, I'm believing to. My thing is this, why I don't feel like this is completely true, because it's like, bro, murder cases I know off rip, guilty or not, you need 100. If you ain't got 100,000, this is my personal advice. If you ain't got access to 100,000, not all at once, but by before it's all said and done, if you ain't got minimum, and this vary from state to state, if you ain't got access to 100,000, you don't need to be talking about doing XYZ to somebody unless you prepared to do the time. I'm gonna just leave it at that, and I'm gonna say it nice for YouTube. If you ain't got at least 100,000, don't waste your time. You know what I mean? Find another way. You know what I mean? Find a way to do XYZ or whatever you're gonna do. In fact, I remember one kid I seen it floating around on social media. A lot of guys were really about that life, and he was in the video and everything doing it with him. He was the driver, and this was out in Cali, right? And I ain't gotta say no names, but this is all public knowledge. He was the driver of the situation, but and they did a drive-by or whatever in Cali. The people in the back that did the drive-by didn't have the rich parents that the guy in the front had. And also, it don't help that, in my opinion, the guy was white. So the guy that did this up front, the driver was white, but his parents was like obviously millionaires. Rumors is his parents paid over $500K in lawyer fees to, and he walked, he walked. But the two in the back, they didn't walk. And I'm pretty sure they're still in there to this day. But I say all that to say too, is that guy also tried to convince the judge, but I guess it convinced him that he thought they were prop guns and they didn't think it was really. What did they tell him he was gonna go do? Just drive and we're gonna handle business? I mean, I don't know, and I wasn't there, but I'm just saying, come on, man. So it just depends on who you are sometimes as well. But I feel like Thugger's got a lot cut out for him too, man. And I could tell probably whether he's keeping it smooth or not. Definitely, I know that he's feeling the stress, man, and missing his family, his kids. Let me read through the next one, the next lyric that they will use against him. That one, I don't feel like it's strong enough if you ask me. But again, that's just only if you ask the kid. Let's see. Honestly, truth be told, YSL won't fold. Pick his ASS off from the balcony. YSL wipe a N-word nose from 2014's Ew. Now, I hadn't even heard this song before. So, I mean, this is my thing, though. These lyrics, can they pinpoint this to around the time that this came out that something happened? I mean, what if they didn't rap about it till a year later? Because keep in mind, if you think with Ryan W. Melly's case, his lyrics not being used against him. Because think about it, if his lyrics were being used against him, it was not going to be a pretty sight. You know what I mean? And it's still not a pretty sight at all. I can't help but think of like literally comparing this to YNW Melly's case too, man. So young, and even Thug still young, 32, and I think YNW Melly is 24 years old. Too young to be going through stuff like this, man. Next lyric, it says, I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mention me, from Bad Boy with the late Juice WRLD in 2021. Now this one, I do have a familiar with what they think or what people thought this was referring to. This was referring to, there was, and to the best of my knowledge, and this is all opinion, and just from what I read, I don't know if any of this is true, but allegedly, apparently there was a shot going on at YFN Lucci's mom. You know, they didn't take her out, but I think they shot at her. I don't know, but they're tying that to that, but that don't mean, this doesn't necessarily mean they did it. They could just be rapping about what they heard, what we just saw floating around. Easy. It's just no different if I literally like, hey, I'm going to mention this in the lyric, and I could be referring to them, but that don't mean I actually did anything. And I'm not here to try to defend anybody either. Let me just clarify this. Wrong is wrong, right is right. At the end of the day, I don't know. So next lyric says, I rep my life for real. For slimes, you know I kill. On 2020's Take It to Trial. Now, I don't know if you've heard that song, Take It to Trial. Lyrics aside, the joint, it go hard. The song go hard, bro. Let's just keep it 100. The song goes hard. I ain't even gonna hold you. I actually like that song. I actually listen to that one from time to time when I'm in the gym working out. Let's see. The next lyric, it says, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Yak Gotti, and I got bodies on bodies." From the 2015 Dream. I like that song as well, man. And again, just because I like the song don't make it right. And if any of this is true and ties to anything that they feel like they can use against them. So let me just point that out there too. I don't know. Just because I like the song don't mean anything. And let me read what was on the post here. It says, here are some of the lyrics from the prosecutors want to introduce as evidence in the YSL trial against Young Thug and other co-defendants, including D-Note Kendrick. So he pretty much put that on there, and these are the screenshots you see of it. And this was November 8th. Let me read through the rest of it. It says, the problem is, DA Fannie Willis, the same district attorney who is prosecuting Donald Trump, may not have gotten all the lyrics right. See, just because, like, and that's another thing too. While we're at may or possibly may not be getting the lyrics right, one thing that could probably work in Thugger's favor is he came out during that mumble rap era. He got some songs you can hear him clearly on, and you got some songs where you just like, man, I don't know what he's saying, but he mumbling on beat. He came out during that mumbling rap era. So Young Thug, that may work in their favor, you know, if we're going to keep it 100. It says, according to the court documents obtained by Hip Hop DX on October 30th, some of the lyrics listed in the court documents were incorrect and still others were incorrectly attributed. For example, the documents read, knocking off your big homie BITCH, and credit the lyric to Yak Gotti and U-Funk song Mob Ties, but the line doesn't appear anywhere in the song, though a similar line does appear in the song Hook Spit by 24 Heavy, and Yak Gotti doesn't appear on the track at all. So, little things like that. Let me put it this way. If this is my thing, cool. They're messing up and they got the lyrics and they don't have their stuff together because, I mean, they haven't obviously sat down and did their homework with a fine-tooth comb. They haven't combed through it, so to speak, right? Now, with that being said, that's what Young Thug's lawyer is being paid to do. He's going to go through this stuff with a fine-tooth comb. Now, let me clarify this. To make sure his client can get either freed or the least amount of like charges possible. Now, with that being said, from a person who's had an attorney, and I would hope, and I honestly don't feel like none of my attorneys went through a fine-tooth comb. But anyway, if he's got an attorney that's willing to do that, that ain't free, bro. And we already know that. Like that, I guarantee you, that man done made $1 million already off this situation. Over time, of course, you know, if any of this stuff is true with lawyers, especially if you already got one on payroll, that man probably, the money is the least of his worries right now. I'm going to just put it like that. Money is the least of his attorney's worries right now, I'm sure. They going to make sure he's straight. That's what he's designed to do, to catch little stuff like this where, honestly, throw this out because they're messing up the lyrics. So it may be a gift and a curse. If they can't pinpoint it to the right song and they're messing up, really, what kind of credibility do they have? You know, let that sink in. What credibility are they really going to have if all they got is lyrics? You know, I haven't seen yet of any like video, and I know there's some stuff, but I mean, like, I don't think there's no video of anything that directly ties any of these guys, man. If you're just gonna go off lyrics, I personally don't think that's strong enough. And we've heard it floating around all over the internet, right? Is that, yo, this is a weak case, this is a weak case, this is a weak case. And they're just, if you think that man finna like just tap out, I don't think so. He's too deep into it now. But a question also that I got in my head too, if Thugger beats the case, all the people that kind of like pled guilty, where does that go? Everybody want to know what's going on with him and Gunna. Now, to the best of my knowledge, Gunna is still YSL, and he's still under 300 Entertainment as well. Kevin Lyles, I seen at his sold out show in New York. So Gunna's still doing numbers and getting people to show up. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't know if it's a part of the plan, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Thug come out on a different type of energy. Right now, I feel like Thug is doing the very best thing right now by just simply being quiet. Let your attorneys do all the talking. That's what you pay them for. even if you don't agree with what they're saying, you guys talk. You talk about that with each other amongst each other. You know what I mean? Let me read through the rest of this article real quick. It says another error in the document involves anybody, which was released in 2018. While the document claims the lyrics are ready for war like I'm Russia / I got all types of cash and all types of cash I'm general, the actual lyrics are ready for war like Russia / Chanel for luggage. Interesting. So totally two different things. I got all types of cash, I'm a general, but it actually says last Chanel for the luggage. Interesting. I'm definitely gonna go back and listen. I wish I could play some of these songs on live stream, but you know YouTube will kill this stream faster already. I'm pretty sure they're gonna flag this one just because of the title and Young Thug, this and the third. But we can work behind that. We can work off of that. It says, while a proposal federal bill limiting the use of song lyrics in criminal proceedings is still pending in the House of Representatives, and similar bills have been introduced in states throughout the country, DA Willis has confirmed to NBC News that she will continue to use the song lyrics as evidence against defendants if she feels they are relevant. So apparently she feels this is relevant. Keep in mind, we also got your boy Donald Trump going up in trial, but I don't really talk politics or nothing like that. So this lady is kind of been on it, and she said there's gonna be more. So I remember not necessarily for Trump, but I'm talking just in hip hop in general. Like when I remember when Thug got locked up, and then YFN Lucci got locked up, they said there are gonna be some other ones that's coming down the pipeline too. But I guess they're gonna deal with this one first. If they beat this, like. It depends. If Thugger they can beat this, then they'll probably lay off the rest. They'll probably cut the other guys some slack. But if Thugger them don't beat this, then it's probably what she's saying is going to be more people, more to come. So you never know how this stuff can really go sometimes, man. It says, shortly after the jury compromise of 7 black women. So this is what the jury consists of. 7 black women, 2 white women, and 2 black men and 1 white man. Wow. Let's see. I feel like that's somewhat of a fair mix. Per Yahoo was finally seated last week. Judge Glanville took the prosecutor's office to task for exponentially expanding their witness list and for being adhesive with providing evidence required by discovery. So apparently he's, like I said, I've seen it where he's upset because they have been like, seems like they're taking forever to get the evidence in when they should have. In his opinion, though, and I will say this judge has been kind of strict to everybody, though. He hasn't really necessarily, in my eyes, he hasn't been cutting Thugger no favors, but at the same time, I think he's just really tired of the whole situation. And I'm going to read through this article some more. It says, I'm really annoyed about this. Judge Glanville said from the bench, see, I told you last week, this is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then, and I don't know why. You've better have a dang good explanation on the 16th, because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Right now, I'm telling you, without any further, it's gone. So, judge is, like I said, he's starting to see through some of the BS from what it seems like. Even though he still haven't granted Thugger bond and may not get one now that stuff is on their way. Says he continued, this is ridiculous. This is not plausible explanation. I've gotten that would suffice. And we just keep dribbling. And this is his words. I'm not even stuttering. This is just how he wrote it. Dribbling and drabbing about the evidence. Nah. So he's frustrated. And that's probably what it sounds like he's talking about. Says, at the crux of the Ysl Rico case is the belief that Young Thug's Stoner Life label is actually a cover-up for a larger criminal enterprise called Young Slime Life. I never thought they was like a gang for real. I thought, like, in the thing, let me clarify this, right? I knew it was a record label, but I thought they were just showing like how tight they are dedicated to the record label, but I didn't think it was an actual, like, you know, I know those guys rapped about that stuff, but I'm like, it's a record label first is what I thought. I'm like, it's a record label first. The punk rapper faces 8 charges, including conspiracy to violate the racketeering influence in corrupt organizations RICO Act and participate in criminal street gang activity, along with a string of drug and weapon offenses. So the major ones is these 8 charges against him, but then all the other drugs and weapon offenses. I think, the drug stuff, that could probably be, and especially he'll probably get time served for that. He may not beat those. But, and I don't know, because I think to the best of my knowledge, when they got him out of his crib, they found, substance in there as well. So, and that's just allegedly and opinion based. I don't know. So he's probably not going to beat those, but I mean, he'd probably get time served or time run concurrently with that. Because, I mean, he's already been locked down already. So his lawyer, that should be probably, that ain't even the least of their worries. They're trying to get the big fish out the way, so to speak. And let me touch on what Meek is talking about as well, man. Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out of this joint. Been on this joint for roughly, let's give or take, 50 minutes. So I'm going to be on for like another 30 minutes, man. But I do want to read through the rest of these articles. I'm not surprised to see Meek Mill speaking up, as he should. Like I said, he's been through similar situations as well. So it makes sense why he's speaking up on this. Let's see where we're at. It says, Meek Mill responds to the use of Young Thug's lyrics as evidence got me scared. So, and I think even Killer Mike said it got him scared too. And I can see why. Killer Mike, we got that one on there. And like I said, I'm just go down the rabbit hole tonight, so to speak. It says Meek Mill has been actively involved in intentives to fight against the use of rap lyrics in criminal trials. So, yeah, Meek has definitely been an advocate for that because, Meek's been in and out of his legal situation as well. But I don't think lyrics was a part of his problem. I think Meek's was slightly different. But then again, don't quote me because it probably definitely doesn't help the situation either, if we're going to keep it 100. It says, so it's not surprised that the Philly rhymer has expressed worry over the fact that Young Thug's lyrics will be used as evidence in his ongoing RICO trial. So a lot of people are starting to say, like, basing in so many words, it's kind of not fair. But then again, I could say don't rap about it, or find a different way to deliver your stuff. Point blank, period. Says the judge presiding over the case recently ruled that the prosecutors will be allowed to present Thugger's work as a part of their case. But see, we just read through the other article that while they are allowed to do that, Thugger stuff necessarily, I guess the real question we should be asking, did Thugger do enough like storytelling ability? Did he rap and tell his stories enough indirectly without getting himself and getting himself locked up? Is the real question we should be asking here. Let me read through the rest of the article. It says, earlier this week, Judge Glanville said, I'm consistently admitting those pending lyrics subject to foundation that it's properly laid by the state or the opponent that seeks that evidence. So he's already saying, like, he's letting them do it, but at the same time, you guys better have it where it's gotta be, you shouldn't have to think about it. And to be honest, I think Thugger's lyrics got you where you definitely gotta think about it. It could mean one thing, it could mean another thing. So like that's definitely a great area to think about for sure. Let's see. On Friday, November 10th, Meek took to Twitter, of course. Safe to say, right? Slightly off mode, but safe to say Meek is back to Twitter fingers when Twitter fingers turn to Twitter fingers, Drake lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's back on the Twitter fingers joint. I mean, Meek, did you not learn the first time, bro? But at the same time, at least he's speaking up for a better cause this time. I feel like he's definitely represent Thug. Says on Friday, Meek took to Twitter to share his thoughts, reading the development, writing, locking us up for rapping got me scared to do an interview, free Jeff, free Lucci. So he's saying free both of them. Because I don't know, are they using Lucci's lyrics? Lucci, I know, is facing a similar situation, but I don't know if they're going to be throwing lyrics at it just yet. So this is the tweet from Meek that we saw earlier. So Meek, actually, I'm going to go ahead and ride with him on this one. I agree with him on this one for sure. Pause. Says, since the summer, the Atlanta City Council has been working toward restricting the use of lyrics in criminal cases, which has been recurring practice in the court proceedings that involve rappers. So they've been trying to get this where this has not been a thing for quite some time, but anybody who's ever been in the legal system before, bro, one thing I'm gonna tell you is they take their sweet time. They're not quick at all about anything until they know they got you where it's like, hey, go ahead and do what you gotta do so we can get this over with. But when you're in this situation, like, yeah, they're taking their time, and I guess they want to make sure they get it right. You know what I mean? Let's see. The ongoing Ysl Rico trial once again brought the attention to prosecutors leveraging hip-hop songs to incriminate artists. To that point, District 12 Council member Antonio Lewis passed a resolution in July to ensure fair and just legal proceedings, which I thought, and let me clarify, right? I think this is a good idea, but I always thought that's what the legal system was supposed to do in the first place. You're supposed to you have the right to a fair trial and justice, right? And I put that in quotations because it don't always necessarily happen, man, which I don't know why I'm freezing. The balloons came up in that joint. But yeah, it don't necessarily always happen. But I always thought that was the case. Like, you pretty much have the right to a fair trial, man. But here we are where I've seen some cases that are not necessarily so fair, if you ask me, right? And I'm going to just leave it right there. So let me read through the rest of this article. My bad for freezing everybody. I've definitely been trying to figure out what's going on with my system as why it's freezing so much and like glitchy. Like, there's only one thing I can think that I changed. There's a couple things I can think that I changed. I did update like my operating system, this, that, and third, and things have kind of been left ever since then if I'm gonna keep it 100. But yeah, so where I'm at, let me get back to this joint real quick. Let's see. Read that one says, regarding the initiative, Lewis said, our resolution is a significant step toward recidifying an issue that has disproportionately affected individuals within marginalized constant communities. He says, we must protect the freedom of artistic expression while ensuring the evidence used in the criminal trials is relevant, reliable, and does not manipulate bias. So it shouldn't be bias is what they're trying to get at. By arguing the Georgia's General Assembly to address the matter, we are fostering a more equitable and just criminal justice system for all. I sure hope so, man, because the justice system is, I'm going to just say it nicely. I'm going to just put it this way. They don't always get it right. I'm going to just put it like that. They don't always get it right, and they're human. So I can't say, like, if I was up there, I could do a better job, this and the third. I don't know. But I'm going to just say they don't always get it right. Lewis and his supporters have pointed out that the rap lyrics are often misrepresented in court and proposed that they shouldn't be used as evidence, which is valid. I can see that. I think that too. I mean, I feel like it's a gray area still, and it's definitely going to be a tough call whether they should be using the lyrics or not, man. So Meek's trying to been pushed for that, and looks like more people were behind it, and looks like Killer Mike actually spoke out as well. We're going to touch on that. And then I'm going to read what the actual other articles have. I don't think we have a timeline up of what's going up on it just yet. But it says, Killer Mike, scared by justice allowing lyrics to be used in the Young Thug Ysl Rico trial. So, and crazy ironically, Thug has still been releasing music from behind bars, but you can tell he can't lock in his zone in there. That's his thing. He doing his thing. And even I hate to compare it to YNW Melly, but even he's released music from behind bars, and I don't know if he's locked in his bag either, but I mean, I'm just hoping the best for these guys. If they truly didn't do anything, then free them. And I've always asked this question 100 times. If you basically beat your case and you didn't get bail and you wasn't out free or any type of term like that, if you didn't get bail and you beat your case from behind bars, what happened? What do you get your money? Do they pay you? Like, I'm very curious. What's the end all? It's like, okay, you're free to go, but yeah, like that that time you can't really make up for that missing out on your family. I feel like there should be some type of money in exchange of that, in my opinion. But that's just me, and who am I? Let me read through the rest of this article real quick, and I think I got a couple more articles I want to touch on, and then we're going to wrap things up for the night. I'll be on this joint for like another 30 minutes. Again, Thug is, I don't know, man. I really hate it for him. Again, I feel like at best they could have gave all them boys bail and put an ankle monitor on them and call it a day. I highly doubt he was gonna cut it off and run the risk of, like, you know what I mean, his freedom. But at the same time, he ain't really. If you keep it 100, Thug really just been quiet. Ain't nobody speaking behind bars, no nothing. I think safe to say Thug is representing that thing of what we call right now real G's move in silence. You know what I'm saying? If I had to guess, that's what I'm saying. It looks like real G's move in silence. But let me hit the this article real quick. It says Killer Mike has long advocated against the use of rap lyrics in court, but they won't be in the case in Young Thug's Ysl Rico trial. According to Billboard Judge Glanville ruled on Thursday, November 9th, the lyrics will be allowed to be used as evidence against Thug and co-defendants in the high-profile case. The Run the Jewels rapper, which is Killer Mike is what they're referring to, which I've heard Killer Mike actually got a super fire album out right now, so I need to definitely check that out. The Run the Jewels rapper reacted to the ruling on his Instagram story where he implored fans to read the 2019 book Rap on Trial, Race, Lyrics, and the Guilt in America. Okay, so I need to check that out. So apparently there's a book. It says, this decision scares me, wrote Mike, who is named on Young Thug's witness list. Why is he labeled on his witness list? Is what I want to know. But I'm going to keep reading anyway. He said, let's see, alongside like T.I. and Leo Corn, which is the guy who is over YouTube now, which I did see that interview he did with Vlad. This threatens all America's First Amendment rights, in my opinion. Please read Rap on Trial. So, I mean, this is, like, if you have the right to freedom of speech, but I guess it's like, well, you do have the right to have it used against you in a court of law. Looks like I froze again. Hold on, give me like 2 seconds. But yeah, it looks like you have the right to be, you know, if you're going to use them, they're going to use it against you. And like I said, I feel like this is like a double-edged sword, so to speak. You can tell it's a double-edged sword when it comes to this. Like, you know, you dang if you do, you dang if you don't, if you're going to rap. So, I don't know. Like, this is a very tough situation for me to really, I can't make a call. You know, I can see, like I said, I'll say it 100 times. I see both sides. And this is the post from Killer Mike. It says, the decision scares me. This threatens all America's First Amendment rights. In my opinion, please read Rap on Trial. And then we'll read through the rest of this real quick. I believe we got Meek Mill on here. And then I do got a couple other articles up for Young Thug. And then we're going to wrap things up here for the night, man. Says the judge ruled against Thugger's legal team's motion to ban lyrics from being used as potential evidence in the courtroom. The prosecution's indictment cites several songs of Thug's that they say connect him to the various crimes. If they're going off the songs and the lyrics that just we read at the beginning of the live, I know it's not what I think. I'm no judge or anything like that. But I'm no genius, but I don't feel like that's enough to stick, in my opinion. But it'll all be based on how they're used, you know what I mean, and how the judge sees it. But at the same time, he's being judged by a jury. Are they gonna be able to explain this to the jury and make them understand, like comprehend, like is that them? Did they really do it? I honestly, if I'm gonna keep it 100. I feel like Thugger's got a good chance of beating this case. Believe it or not, I think he's got a good chance of beating this case, man. From what I've seen, but I feel like maybe the prosecution, that can't be their entire hand. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And I know once you take the trial, these people are really gonna be going in. But I mean, you could say the same thing 100 times, but is that enough to make it stick? Like the lady that was going in on YNW Melly's trial, I thought it was over too, but she really only had one knife in the drawer. You need at least 2 or 3 other things. Like I said, she had point B, but she couldn't figure out A, how it started, and C, what happened afterwards, and D, the final outcome. You know, all she had was B and D, but she didn't have A and C. And the reason that trial got, you know, and we can go technical, like, well, it was a jury who called it a mistrial, this and a third. But the reason those juries probably was confused is because, like, you can point out B and D all day long because they know, okay, this happened and that happened at the end. But you don't have A and C of how, this, and the third. You know, you need 5 things: of how, when, what, where, how, and what for. You know what I mean? But If you don't have all that, you know, I don't see it sticking, you know? And I said these lyrics, they're a little vague in even though they're direct, but they're still very vague at the same time. If anything, that just shows Thugger's artistic, you know, like how his artistic is, you know what I mean? How big an artist he is and how good he is with that, you know what I'm saying, with wordplay. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna give Thug like lyrics of the world, right? But safe to say, Thugger's wordplay is on another planet. So I think that's going to play off in his favor as well. Let's see. Let me read through the rest of the article. The judge ruled against Thugger's legal team motion to ban the lyrics being used potential evidence in the courtroom. The prosecution indictment cites several songs that Thugger's way conduct him to various crimes. Now, that's a gray area. It's definitely a gray area, but I mean, if they think so, maybe so. But they got to prove it, too. You just can't say it, too. So you got to keep that in mind. Let's see. A person in America can say, I hate Brian Steele. I hate criminal defense lawyers. I hate prosecutors. I hate judges. Still continued. Sounds like I'm going to be quiet. But, yeah, I see where we're going with this. I almost said something, but I'm gonna let it slide. Still continue. We believe that we flourish when we can share ideas, even when they are repugnant, even when you don't agree with them. If you allow this evidence, it's going to have a chilling effect. Maybe he should have used a different wording, but I'll work with that right there, man. Let's see. That's Thugger's lawyer speaking, by the way. I think his lawyer is Brian Steele. He was using himself for an example. I think he should have ended a little bit stronger, but at the same time, he's a $1 million lawyer, so he knows what he's doing. Maybe if I would have worded, it probably been way, way worse too. Let me just throw that out there. Says Glanville interrupted him to say that the First Amendment is not on trial. Okay, so that's where the judge is being a little bit of a tough guy on this one, man. He says the First Amendment is not on trial. But even though the First Amendment technically not is on trial, but I mean, you do have a right to the First Amendment though, but I feel like this is still a gray area where it's still violating his First Amendment. You know what I mean? If we're going to keep it 100, I feel like it is violating Thugger's First Amendment, you know, and that is freedom of speech. But at the same time, people often say you do have the right to freedom of speech, but you got to be able to deal with the consequences that go along with that. Case in point, I'll give you an example. I can say, like, I can point out one of these sneaker YouTubers and say, like, when I see them, I'm going to do X, Y, Z to them, right? And I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but let's just say I'm going to be the tough guy, for it, so to speak, and say when I see him, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And when I do see him and I attempt to do it, and he kind of beat me to the punch, and then it backfires on me, right? Then, you know, you got to be able to deal with it. That's where probably they're saying with this First Amendment, like, yeah, you can say whatever you want to, but you got to be able to deal with what comes with it. You know, if you call somebody out their name and then they hit you, you know what I mean? Who's in the wrong here? You know, while you're not really supposed to be really hitting anybody, but at the same time, you do have most states, you should have the right to defend yourself, you know? Let me read through the rest of the article. It says, a full jury was finally seated in the Ysl Rico trial last week, almost a year after the jury selection process began. It compromises of 7 black women, 2 white men, 2 black men, and 1 white man. The trial will finally begin November 27th. So that is when the trial is supposed to start, November 27th. Pretty much right after Thanksgiving. Sheesh, because Thanksgiving's what, November 24th. Then we got Black Friday on the 25th, to the best of my knowledge. And then I guess coming on that Monday, because it'll be, if it's starting on the 27th, and we got 25th, 26th, 27th. So hold on, wait. Let me just glance at the calendar real quick to make sure I'm not like going super duper crazy real quick. Give me like 2 seconds. Let me put myself on the main screen. I want to glance at the calendar just real quick. Let me see just to make sure it didn't pop up. Boom. So 27th is actually on a Monday. So yeah, we have Thanksgiving on the 23rd, and then the 24th is Black Friday, and then we have on Monday. So right after Black Friday is when Thug's trial is set to begin. Sounds like his attorney is ready, but at the same time, I don't know how ready everybody is. Do I see this actually starting on the 27th? I don't know, bro. because it sounds like the prosecution is not as ready either. It says Thug has been behind bars since he's been arrested in May 22 and having been denied bond multiple times. So he's been locked up since May 22. And here we are, we're in late 2020. So he's been over a year. He's been locked up for over 2 years. And I was going to say, while it don't seem like it's been that long, I'm pretty sure if we ask Thug that question, it's going to be a different answer. Because I'm pretty sure it probably feels a whole lot longer for him. And like I said, I feel like I don't think you should be having nobody sit there if they're innocent until proven guilty. Give them house arrest. Same with YNW Melly. Homie's been locked down for 4 or 5 years going on. Y'all haven't found nothing on him. Give him some very strict restrictions and tell him not to violate or you're coming right back. Point blank period. But I don't know if that's their goal to sometimes make people like bleed out, so to speak. But it's always a gray area too of what could happen. Let me touch the chat real quick. Says the Slayer says, I'm ready for that Thanksgiving grub, big bro Jay. I think we all are, man. It's gonna be a different type of Thanksgiving for me this year, but I am looking forward to some good like Thanksgiving food, man. So I'm definitely gonna try to be with the fam and this, that, and the third, man. So everybody think turkey, man, but one of the things I like about my family, a little bit of off mode, but you're kind of making a kid hungry. And I obviously talked to Bob Marley before he left, so you already know how I'm feeling. But yeah, I like a nice, good fried turkey over baked turkey, man. A little off mode, but yeah. I do got one more like article that I'm gonna read through, and then we're gonna wrap things up for the night. Let me just see, because it's a racketeering trial, right? Let me just read through this and make sure it's nothing really out of the norm. Okay, cool. Yeah, this one has something slightly different that I want to touch. Let me share my screen here. Give me like 2 seconds. And boom, should be sharing right here. Appreciate that, by the way, Slayer, man. And y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out, man. It really means a lot to the kid. But this is one that I think the article where it kind of stemmed from. Lyrics will be introduced as evidence in the trial of rapper Young Thug. Judge says he isn't attacking freedom of speech, but practice of using lyrics as evidence has been widely denounced by major record labels and stars, including Jay-Z. So Jay-Z is on, not saying he's taking up for Thugger, but he's saying like, lyrics. If we're going to keep it 100, even if we take it all the way back to, who is it? I think Uncle Luke, right? Whenever they made their songs, they're the reason for the parenthesis sticker that used to come on the CDs or the albums. And, now you get the warnings on that. So I feel like that falls under that same umbrella a little bit, if you ask me, that parenthesis sticker, the parenthesis advisory sticker that Uncle Luke them fought for, which they don't get enough credit in the rap game as well. I feel like where that stuff kind of falls under there. And that's why I keep saying 100 times a night, which y'all about to hear me say 100 times. It's a gray area, bro. This whole situation is a gray area, but I do hope the best for Thugger, man. Honestly, I really do. Now, if he did it, he did it. But at the same time, if y'all ain't got no hard evidence, you can say somebody did something all day long. It don't mean anything. I can tell y'all I did X, Y, Z, but until we got any proof that ties me to it, then I didn't do anything. Again, another thing I never understood about the law is that you're innocent until proven guilty. And if you're innocent until proven guilty, why we got to have a bond? Why do we have to be locked down until the judge can say, if you're innocent until proven guilty, bring the person in, charge them whatever you're going to charge them with, and send them on their merry way. But I know that would just be too simple, and I know things don't work like that. But in a perfect world, that's kind of how I look. That if I was going to go off the innocent until proven guilty rule, that's what I would be thinking of. You know what I mean? So, says a judge has said lyrics will be admissible as evidence in the trial of the star U.S. rapper Young Thug, a controversial practice that has been depreed by freedom of speech groups and other stars such as Jay-Z and Coldplay. So it looks like Coldplay have had running issues with the lyrics some too. And I feel like a lot of artists are. So I feel like this is one of those, if you're going to do it for one, you got to do it for all. So type of situation. I think that everybody's on the page for this. Says, known for his distinctive vocal timbre. I was going to say wordplay. I'm not going to give him like the lyrics name, but they said that's basically what that means. Young Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams, is one of the most successful and critical acclaimed rappers in the U.S. whose albums So Much Fun and Punk are both top the charts there. He will shortly go to trial in his home city, Atlanta, for racketeering, which you got to keep in mind. From what I'm hearing, I haven't been to Atlanta in a long time. They love Thug, man, and he really gives back to the community. For racketeering, accused of running what prosecutors called a criminal street gang, and I put that in parentheses like they did, called YSL Young Thug Slime Life. Young Slime Life, also Young Stoner Life, members of which have been charged with murder, carjackings, and other alleged crimes. Williams' legal team maintained YSL is a record label and music collective, with lawyer Brian Steele saying the rapper has committed no violation of law whatsoever. Now, I will say one thing too, man, to be honest. Once you start reaching the level of what Young Thug's level is too, man, y'all gotta know when y'all can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out too. I'm playing devil's advocate here. You can't be 1 foot out and 1 foot in too. You got to be all in or be not. And that's where this record label stuff comes as a gray area. And I'll tell you somebody who switched it up and did it the correct way. And that's Yo Gotti, right? We're using this for an example. I'm not saying Yo Gotti is better than Young Thug, this, that, and the third. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I'm using this as an example as, like, we got Young Stoner Life, or what is it? Yeah, Young Stoner Life, or we got Young Slime Life, record label, this, that, and the third. But now you guys are making it mainstream. It's time to make it a different abbreviation for YSL. You know what I mean? And I'll give you, the reason I'm mentioning Gotti is his stuff was CMG, and it's still CMG. But at one point, CMG record label, this, that, and the third, it used to stand for Cocaine Music Group. Now it stands for Collective Music Group. Gotti's mature. He's got away from, he wants nothing. Not saying he ain't involved in that lifestyle, this and that third, but he don't want his label even affiliated with that type of stuff anymore. You can tell. And one thing I'll say about Gotti too, even though this is about Thug, you can tell. I'll say this. Know the big saying that was going around like, yo, do you take 500,000 or do you take dinner with Jay-Z? Well, safe to say Gotti already had 500,000. So when he got the opportunity to take lunch with Jay-Z, I believe there were some notes shared, and that's what Gotti probably jotted down and started making that lifestyle change. You know what I mean? So I can't say that I wasn't there, but I mean, obviously change had to come from somewhere, and where's the inspiration? Jay-Z gets quote unquote considered the number one like rapper of all time, right? And my thing is this, I'll say this 100 times. I don't think Jay-Z it should be number one, but I see why he gets number one. And I respect why people give him number one, but I don't think he should be considered number one of all time. But I know why he's considered number one of all time is because of what he's done overall. It's not necessarily, it's deeper than the rap, so to speak. It's deeper than just music with him. So that's what I'm talking about with that one as far as why Jay-Z gets that. And a lot of the rappers, whenever they mention who their favorite rapper is, Lil Wayne's get mentioned as the younger generation now, they all say Lil Wayne. But Lil Wayne and his generation and up all say Jay-Z. You know, they put him as that's just how it goes. So that's why you hear Jay-Z's name probably mentioned a lot in this article too. I'm gonna read through the rest of this joint and then we're gonna wrap things up here for the night. Sorry for freezing so many times, and I mean I really gotta find out what's going on. I may switch back up to the other program too. The Slayer says, I'm sorry, but Jay-Z ain't no top 5. I'll take $500K and go buy some McDonald's. I ain't gonna buy no McDonald's, but I would definitely take the $500K too. And even Jay-Z, you seen in the he did an interview with Gayle King, I believe. He even said take the $500K because he said he already don't put out all the advice he could possibly put out in the music. Which, think about it. If they use Jay-Z's lyrics against him and some stuff, he could easily be in the same boat as Young Thug right now. Easily, no problem. You know, so that's one thing that's probably why Jay-Z probably takes this so serious, you know, and probably has something to say about it, which I'm not surprised at all, as he should, you know, because if he's considered the leader for hip hop, so to speak, you know, indirectly anyway. You know, we got a lot of goats, but Jay-Z's name always get mentioned a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I would take the 500K as well. Let me read through the rest of this article real quick. It says 28 people were initially charged, including another chart-topping rapper, Gunna, real name Sergio Kitchens, who took a plea deal that allowed him to maintain his innocence. Other defendants took plea deals, were not arrested, or saw their cases separate from the racketeering case, leaving Williams and 5 others still to face trial. So there's 5 other people to face trial. All the rest of the people, think about it. It was originally 28 people charged. Wow, I didn't know this. So think about this. 28 people was originally charged. They're down to 5. You know what I mean? That means over 20, like literally over 20 plus have already took deals, which some of them I don't blame. And again, I don't want to go on a snitching rant because that don't mean they necessarily snitch, but I know all of them are part of their deal. From what I've seen, they were like, if you're called upon, you'll have to testify. But this is the thing, right? What people forget is, cool, they took plea deals, and if they're called upon, they're going to testify. And while, yes, the saying is simple, right? You guys are like, well, if you get on the stand, you have to tell the truth. You know what I mean? Right. You have to tell the truth. If these guys already are in the lifestyle that y'all claim they be, or that they've already pled guilty to, do you think they're really going to answer the questions, A, truthfully, or pass out any information? You know what I'm saying? We seen the people that got called up in the YNW Melly case, and what happened? One person, the one lady's like, she didn't remember, even though they had XYZ recording this, that, and the third, waited 5 years, going on 5 years, and she didn't remember anything. Her words, not mine, allegedly. But yeah, they didn't remember anything. So who's to say these guys get up here that all are still, quote unquote, that should be like loyal to Thugger, right? If you call these guys up and they're gonna say blah, 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 if they don't remember, what can you really do if the person truly don't remember? If you try to refresh their memory, this and the third, if they try that, I'm gonna say this, they can't try that same stuff with, let me put it this way. The stuff they tried in the YNW Melly case, if it didn't stick with Melly, and Thugger's got the, from what I've read, Thugger has a number 1 lawyer in that state. He's the number 1 lawyer in the state, meaning he has the best. They're not gonna, I don't think they're just gonna, if Melly's lawyers didn't let that stuff walk, I don't think Thugger's lawyer's gonna let that stuff walk too so easily. Anyway, if they do, it's not gonna be an easy task. Let me read through the rest of this article real quick. Think about it. Went from 28 to 5 people on trial now. That's crazy. Let's see. 5 others still to face trial. The judge for the case, Glanville, has now permitted prosecutors to introduce some Young Thug song lyrics and evidence, saying, I'm going to conditionally admit praiserized lyrics. Let's see. We got Mr. 314 in here. Says, sorry, I'm late to the party, Jeremy Jones. All good. We about to wrap things up here in about another 5 minutes. He says, of the Jeremy Jones sold out arena. It's all good, homie. Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out of this joint, man. Really means a lot. Addressing Williams' legal team during the hearing, Glanville argued prosecutors were not prosecuting your clients because of songs they wrote. They're using the songs to prove other things your clients may have been involved in. I don't think it's an attack of freedom or free of speech. I'm pretty sure that's where that's going to go. Yeah, free speech. Says, as reported from Atlanta, Fox 5 Atlanta, prosecutors Mike Carlson said the lyrics were being used to prove the nature of YSL as racketeering enterprise, the expectation of YSL and a criminal street gang, where we've gotten the party admissions for even the offense of murder here. There's evidential use. So I don't know how this is going to go for Thugger, but again, the lyrics that we read, and this, keep in mind, this is just some. I don't feel like they're going to show, I don't feel like the prosecutors are going to show their entire hand until they get to trial. But if that's what they're showing right now, and the thing is, you do want to show some of your strong evidence because you want to kind of, I would think you would kind of make, once Thug sees it, like, all right, cool, let me go ahead and plead out guilty because there ain't no way I'm beating that, this, and the third. Or his attorney will give him some advice like, hey, man, let's try to work this, that, and the third. But honestly, even if I was the attorney, I feel like I got the confidence, like, man, I think we got a good shot here. Prosecutor Simone Holton quoted the lyrics in court. I just beat a murder rap. I paid my lawyers $30 for that. There's a few other lyrics in between that, and then me and my slimes are about the law, or above the law. Again, they don't, and that's another thing I think, again, that's gonna work in Thugger's favor, and then I'm gonna wrap things up for tonight. Those lyrics, Thug is a mumble rapper, bro. I don't think they're gonna be able, that little in-between gibber stuff can make a big difference. 314 says, we 13s drip or drippy or drip. I think that's a timeless shoe, so I'm gonna put it in the drip category. I'm gonna agree with you that one for sure. I'm gonna give you that one. Lawyers of the defense counted the lyrics were creative expression and could not be used as evidence or admissions for criminal activity. It says there's a giant elephant in the room, which is what we're ignoring, said Doug Weinstein, attorney for the Dominique Kendrick. The rapper is known as Yak Gotti. So Yak Gotti's got his own attorney who is on the trial alongside Williams. There is art here, and the art has got to be separated from real life, what Mr. Kendrick is singing about and what he grew up around. What else is he supposed to sing about? Valid point. I like where Yak Gotti's rapper is going with this. Like, he could just be rapping about things that he's seen. I think that's definitely a good. I think that's a good one. I like his approach over Thugger's lawyer's approach. Even though neither one is wrong, but I would say this, like, yeah, what else is he supposed to rap about? That's what he grew up on. That's all you seen. It's like me, like, I grew up from the mud, so to speak, man. And if I was to rap about, I'm going to rap about things I grew up on. It don't necessarily mean I did them. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you who else. And I'm going to take it back one time for the one time I'm about to tell my age. That rappers have been doing this since the beginning of time. And one of the rappers who used to do this all the time and got called out is Plies. He was rapping about XYZ, super thuggish lifestyle, so to speak. And then until somebody gonna challenge you, right? Not saying Thug and them ain't been challenged. And remember they had Plies hiding out in the bathroom, and he said he just raps about his brother's lifestyle. You know, it really wasn't him. None of that stuff. His brother apparently probably already did XYZ, and he just rapping about it through what he's seen. So, I mean, this could easily be another same scenario that we've seen time and time again. So, like I said, lawyers have done this, not no lawyers, but rappers have done this from the beginning of time. So, it says he is not going to sing the Monkey's Daydream Believer. He's not going to write about puppies and rainbows and unicorns because, yeah, he didn't live that. You know, he didn't grow up around that stuff, so to speak. Says there is growing opposition to practice introducing lyrics and criminal evidence, which has been used in trials against U.S. rappers such as you gotta mention Tekashi 6ix9ine. This is true, and Tay K in recent years. Tay K, yeah, that one wasn't looking good for Tay K. I think we all knew that right out the rip, man. Just checking my notification, I saw that Sneakers that put some up, but nothing really worth mentioning right now. But yeah. Tay K trial definitely wasn't pretty. Yeah, I believe that's one of those situations he might want to just, well, I'm going to tell you what hurt Tay K, right? Not necessarily just his lyrics. Tay K was given house arrest. He was given an ankle monitor and he ran, you know, and cut that joint off and ran. So, yeah, you knew when you got locked up, you wasn't going to see the light of day for a minute. You know, you've already violated. They giving you a chance. At that point, if you get the ankle monitor, all you had to do, go back, go off your energy, lighten up. Think about it. It took a minute for his stuff to go to trial, too. He could have gone out and made some money and probably got even better attorneys. I'm not saying he didn't have a good attorney, but you could have even got more attorneys if you would have worked it from that angle. That's what I would have did. But that's just me. Each their own. But I do rock with some of Tay K stuff. Let's see. We read that one. It says, what am I looking for? The practice is increasingly widespread in the UK with research published by The Guardian finding 240 such cases in the last 3 years. So this is something that goes on across the global. In January 2022, Jay-Z and Meek were among those supporting a proposed change in New York state law that would prevent the introduction of lyrics of evidence, which State Senator Jamal Bailey arguing the right to freedom of speech is enshrined to the federal and state constitutions. The admissions of art criminal evidence only serves to enroll the fundamental right that the use of rap and hip-hop lyrics in particular emblematic of the systematic racism that prepares on cultural justice. So I feel like that's where the gray area is right here, man. And I think I'm gonna stop it right here because the article goes on a little bit longer, but I think we pretty much got it all covered. I will say free Thug for sure. If he didn't do anything, let that, he could have got, he got a family at the end of the day. Now I don't know what he did, this, that, and the third. I don't know what he did or didn't do, but definitely free Thugger. The freedom of speech thing, I still feel like it's still a gray area. Still a little too soon to really say you can or you can, right? You know what I mean? Some of the rappers go too far, though. Now, if you point it out there, and see, even if you be like, well, I feel like, yeah, you got to make a call. Either you're going to use the lyrics or you're not going to use the lyrics, like across the board. Because my thing is this. If you say like, okay, cool, throw the lyrics out, then people just go free for all, start telling on themselves the entire time. They're like, nope, he rapped about it, so you can't use it. But then you'll have to find another way versus now you could also say where like, I'm like, well, if it's that obvious, then go ahead and use it against them. But that wouldn't be fair. And it's supposed to be all about justice at the end of the day, man. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here for the night. Free Thugger for sure, man. If he didn't do anything, YNW Melly, free him. YFN Lucci, free him. If these guys aren't guilty of any of these crimes, so to speak, I don't know. And I'm not here to say, I'm not the judge. I'm just from the outside looking in. I feel like the lyrics was not strong enough, but again, we don't know if there will be more or less. So I'm going to just leave it at that. So this is the latest up on the Young Thug YSL case. So I will revisit this again, I'm sure, especially if trial is set to slide it for November 27th. So we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't be surprised to see this get pushed back a little bit more, but we shall see who will try to push it back. But other than that, man, let's wrap things up here for the night. I've been on this joint for an hour and 32 minutes. Appreciate everybody for coming through and showing love, man. Y'all smash the like button. Sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already. I see you, Mr. 314, with a question. But go ahead and sub up to the channel. Of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and I make content about sneakers, occasional trying hauls, and y'all know this is Music Monday. Sign up for that sold out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the chat, and it is free to sign up. Keep in mind, again, guys, there will be no sold out on Wednesday. Very, very tight schedule this week for me as well. But I will be back Saturday with another sold out podcast. 314 says, was Diddy arrested? If he has been arrested, I haven't heard nothing about it. I don't think he has been, but don't quote me because, again, I haven't seen anything floating around, so don't quote me with that. I'll definitely have to check on that. I highly doubt it, but I don't think he was arrested. And if you're talking about for the Keepy D thing, yeah, I don't think that stuff, I ain't saying it doesn't tie back to Diddy, but I don't think they've arrested him for that. At least not yet anyway, but don't quote me. But other than that, man, I'm officially out this thing. Sign up for that sold out Discord. Definitely smash that like button if you come in and out. Appreciate y'all for supporting the kid and everything like that. Salutes to Dunks. And again, we'll be back with another sold out live, another sold out podcast on Saturday. Because Wednesday, I just have a lot going on, man. And I appreciate you guys' patience and supporting the channel and supporting me, man. And definitely keeping me motivated to keep making more content, man. So other than that, man, I am officially out this thing, man. Peace.
December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God enough I can remember. God enough I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high. I can can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Told me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember.